What's going on, guys? It's Greg here, aka NYPrepper. In this video, I just want to show you a tip for joining together two pieces of Kydex. So if you have a Kydex holster for a handgun, or you have a Kydex sheath for a knife, or maybe a magazine pouch made of Kydex, or some other type of pouch or something made of Kydex, and you need to join two pieces of Kydex together. So what you want to do is you want to get yourself this product right here. It's called e-weld, okay? And it's not expensive. It goes for like 20 bucks. And basically all you're going to do is you're going to use a Q-tip. And here I have a special Q-tip that I got at Harbor Freight. It's made of wood, so it's nice and rigid. And all you're going to do is you're going to hold your two pieces of Kydex together or clamp them together, and you're just going to dip your Q-tip in the e-weld. Okay, dip the whole tip of the Q-tip into the e-weld, get the whole thing nice and wet. You don't want to get it like too wet so it's like dripping, but you want it soaked without drops coming off of it. Because if you get drops coming off, your drops are going to get all over your Kydex and they're going to ruin your Kydex. So you want to get it wet enough so it's soaked, but it's not dripping. And all you're going to do is you're going to either hold your two pieces of Kydex together that you want to join or clamp them, and you're just going to dab the surfaces, okay, either between them or on the edges of them. And what the e-weld will do is it will literally dissolve a little bit of both pieces of the Kydex, and then after it dissolves a little bit, it'll solidify and become like one piece. Okay, so you're basically welding the pieces of Kydex using chemicals. Okay, it's a chemical welding process. You're melting both pieces of the Kydex, and then they become one piece. Okay, so here is a little welding job that I did on this Gunfighters Inc. Kenai chest holster that I have for my Glock 20. And this is a holster that I use for wilderness carry when I go into the Pennsylvania wilderness, which is loaded with 600-pound black bears and elk. So I carry my Glock 20. And what happened was, when I got this from Gunfighters Inc., this little part right here, it would flex, you know, so there's no rivet here. Okay, this is for my Surefire flashlight, my Surefire X300. And so what would happen is this holster would flex, and these two pieces of Kydex on the end here by where the flashlight goes would open up. You know, they wouldn't stay together, okay? And it actually affected the retention of the holster, okay? Because when I would put the pistol in, you would have this part here that would flex, because you see they riveted only up to this point. They didn't rivet up here or over here because they didn't have enough Kydex to put a rivet there. So what would happen is these two pieces here would just separate and open up, you know. When I would put my pistol in and draw it out, it would open up here. These two pieces would separate and they would flex, and the retention was really sloppy. So I realized that I had to do something to join these two pieces together, and I didn't feel like sending it back to Gunfighters Inc. I could have sent it back. I'm sure they would have done the work, but I just didn't feel like waiting several weeks, because I know they have long lead times. And, you know, I go to the woods very often, and I didn't want to have to wait a month or two. So I picked up that e-weld, and basically all I did was I just took that Q-tip and I just basically held these two pieces together with my fingers just like so. And I just dabbed the edges here. And also I put a little bit in between these two pieces. And so it basically welded these pieces together now, okay? So you can see how it melted that Kydex, and now it's one piece and it's not going to separate, okay? It's holding it together nicely, and as a result I have much better retention, because you see here there's literally nothing holding this together. There's no rivets or anything. So before I did this, this whole piece here would just open up like 1/4 of an inch, and the retention was really sloppy because of that. So you have to let it cure for 24 hours, and you want to keep it in a cool, dry area for it to cure. And you want to also kind of clamp it or put something on it, like some kind of weight to hold the two pieces together. I just took 2 pieces of wood and I just sandwiched this in between the 2 pieces of wood. I took some heavy pieces of wood and I just sandwiched it in between so it would basically work as like a clamp. And I let it sit for 24 hours, and I actually did like 2 rounds. So the initial curing got most of it bonded, and then after that I did another coat, if you want to call it that, like a second coat, a second round, and then that really bonded it nice and solid. You can see how nicely bonded that is. So I can squeeze down here, and as you see, I'm squeezing down here and it's not flexing. You see, it's not opening up. Before I would squeeze back here and this would just start to open, okay? And as you see, it's holding tight, all right? So get yourself some e-weld. It's a good prep item because you never know when you have to bond some Kydex together. You have to make some quick repairs. And if we're talking about SHTF, you want to have a way to repair your Kydex stuff. So it's always good to have some of this on hand. I have like 2 or 3 bottles of this, and even just 1 bottle will last you forever, basically. I mean, you don't use a lot, you just use a little, unless you're bonding a massive amount of Kydex. But just for little repairs here and there, just even 1 bottle of this stuff is really good. So that's pretty much it, guys. Just wanted to share this with you. Take care, God bless, and don't forget the 3 Ps. Prepare, practice, and persevere.